Thank you for coming. I'm Helen, and as you can hear, I'm not really from New Zealand. Can anyone guess where I'm from?
Hong Kong.
Hong Kong? Close. Very close. But no, actually, I'm born and raised in Sweden, actually, in a small city in the southern part by my Chinese Vietnamese parents. So that's why I have this accent. But I moved to New Zealand 3.5 years ago together with my life and business partner, Johan. And for me, it's been a dream living here in New Zealand. I traveled here in 2011 and instantly fell in love with the culture, the country, and the environment, and the waves, the beaches. So already in 2011, I remember sitting on top of the mountain and was looking down on the surfers and the beach, and I really imagined a life here. But it took us nearly 6 years before we actually moved to Mount Maunganui. So last year in October, we bought our first house, and now I'm just living my dream life, and I'm so grateful. So that's a little bit about me. And first of all, I have to confess, I'm really nervous. I usually never do this kind of things, like to talk in front of people and like doing things face to face, because Amen is an online business, and everything we do has been online, and all the communication has been online. So actually standing here is freaking scary, or sitting. But I will do my best, and I actually put it as a challenge this year to do more of this, to actually be out there, show the face behind the brand. So for me, it's like personal development, and it's also good for a brand to have someone to show, just to show the face behind it. So if I talk too fast or you don't really understand what I'm saying, just let me know. Okay? Cool. Okay, so how many of you have heard about Amen before? No? Okay, friends over there. Okay. Cool. So Amen is a Swedish sportswear brand. It was founded by me and my high school friend Tekla. She's over there laughing. And we're all about inspiring women around the world to be active and believe in themselves and the power of the dreams. And we usually, can you see it by the way? Yeah. We usually promote ourselves as two small town girls with big dreams, because we're all about empower women to go for the dreams. And the reason for that is when we started, we didn't have any experience at all. We didn't know how to design clothes, develop products, find suppliers, build a website, run a business, and all the finance stuff. And I remember when we started to talk about our dream, we had people who actually was laughing at us and told us, you should stop before you lose all your money. And I think that was a really good thing, because that triggered us to work even harder and succeed. And it taught us that everything is possible if you only believe in yourself, in your dreams, and never give up. So 4 years later, next slide. We've been through quite a lot. We've done a lot of mistakes, and we learned so much along the way, and we managed to grow the company. So we today have an office in Sweden with 22 people and 2 stores, and in New Zealand we are 6, 7. So we're constantly growing, and we have 2 physical stores, and we have over 100,000 customers worldwide in 145 different countries and over 20 retailers. And we have more than 400,000 social media followers. And last year we had a revenue of more than 11 million. Numbers is not my strength. And this year we're planning to double this. So we had a really big growth the last 4 years, I would say. But the journey hasn't been easy at all. It's been really tough. How many of you guys own a business here or run a business or part of it? It can be freaking hard sometimes, right? Like you learn and sometimes you don't even know what you're doing. And and we've been one of those who just, let's fuck this, let's do this. And I remember our first, we had a really good start. We started to we got a lot of social media followers in the beginning, and we sold out 400 pieces of ties within 5 hours. But what people don't really know that our first 400 pieces of ties came home with a default, like, how do you say that? Like it was like a whole damage, that's the word. So it was a damage in the back. So what we had to do, we had to gather our family and remove the stitching around it. And then we had to ask a stitching lady to restitch everything. So we set like 3 days, full days for our families to, try to solve this problem. And we managed to do that, and we shipped away all the products to our customers. And this taught us to we got stronger, and we got the mindset like we can do anything as long as we really try and don't give up along the way. Next one. Okay, so I'm not here today to give you any business advice because I'm not a business coach and I've just learned by doing, basically. So I'm one of those who actually didn't finish uni. I didn't really like to study and didn't want to listen to anyone else. And it's the same with our team as well. We just go and do things and learn by doing. So I'm not going to talk about any business advice. I'm just going to share the story of what we've done and the mistakes we've done and how it led to personal growth, which also lead to business growth. Okay, next slide. Okay, so I always actually get a lot of questions like, how do you grow a company? How do you grow your social media following? How do you do this and that, and conversion rate and everything? And that's one of the things I always say, like, make sure to have system processes and automate things. Make sure to have it in place. And that's really simple, but it's really, really powerful. Because especially if you want to grow the business, you have to make sure that everything you do, you have to make sure you can actually replicate it and automate it in order to grow. Because you can't do anything on your own, right? You have to have people to join the team. And this has been really powerful for us because I remember in the beginning, like the 2 first years, I had everything in my head. And first when I put them down and I could get an overview of everything, and I could see what I could delegate, what I could automate, and how I could make everything more efficient. And I think our team is a really good example of that. Last year we had around 4 million in revenue, and we're only 4 people. And we always try to work smarter all the time. And when everyone changed the mindset to actually systemize, automate, and make things more efficient, you can scale and grow pretty fast. Which one is this one? The reason we want to automate and systemize everything is because we want to focus on the highest impact activity. And I remember, do you remember when we lived in Auckland and I was constantly busy all the time? And I was busy being busy because I said yes to everything. And it doesn't mean that you're going anywhere if you just do a lot of things. You need to make sure to focus on the right things that are directly related to your goals and vision. So I learned quite a lot to actually just prioritize what I'm going to do in order to reach the goals. Money isn't everything. Money doesn't drive me. And for us, when we want to work with a new partner or having a new retailer, it's all about a win-win situation. Can this retailer help us share our message? Or it shouldn't be about the money, because it's all about value and having something, how you say, to like have a win-win situation. Okay, next one. Okay. So I have always been a gold digger and always been proud of what's been created. But what's been holding me back and holding the company from growing has been my ego. Because when you start a business, it's like, it's your little baby, and it's really hard to trust someone else to take care of it. Like, do you understand what I mean? And I've been dealing with this quite a lot. Franz knows, he's been with us for a year almost, and letting go, how to say it, like being honest with yourself, and like, I'm not actually good at this, and it's actually someone else who can do it better than me, has been really tough. But once you actually realize this will enable us to grow and helping someone else to do it better, like, it takes a lot on your ego, but once you realize it and actually being honest, it has a massive impact on the business, I would say. And this is something I'm dealing with every day because it's freaking hard. So if you have any tips on actually how to let go of the ego completely, like, but it made a big impact for us, definitely. And if I look back now, because this is just like 1.5 years ago I started to do this, and if I started already in the beginning and started to work on myself, what's my strength, what's my weaknesses, I should have focused more on my strength than my weaknesses, and finding someone else to be the team who can do what I'm not good at. And you just have to realize that. What does work-life harmony mean for you, Taran?
I think you've been probably almost asking the wrong question, but I struggle with it too. My idea of work-life harmony is to be well rested in your off time, so you can enjoy your things at one time, so you can rest and be highly productive at work. You take that time out and knowing when your time to not, knowing the time to rest, and so you can be more productive and enjoy the things that you need to do in your rest time. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And Phil?
I think it's knowing when to stop. There's always going to be work. Like, work is always going to be there, and it's I'm way out of balance at the moment, and recognising that there is going to be a time, like just what Tara said then, that when you actually go and take the time off, you come back better.
Yeah.
Whereas, I'm probably a little bit bad at doing that, at not letting go and going and getting some rest and coming back to the person.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's similar for me, like being able to be like present in what you do. When you're at work, you 100% focus on work, and when you actually with your partner, you 100% focus on actually being there in your mind and actually in your body. And I think it's really hard when you run a business. You always have something to do and always a challenge or a problem or the new task or the deadlines. Like it's so hard to switch off. Like that's been my biggest struggle actually, to get this work-life harmony. And I was letting Eamon be a part of everything I did. It was so hard to separate Eamon and Helen, and I was always prioritizing Eamon in front of everything, like my family, my partnership, like anything. And it came to that stage when actually my dad got sick in cancer that I started to realize, shit, life is too short. I shouldn't put my whole life in a business. It shouldn't be that way. And from there, I just switched my mindset, and I started to have criteria over my life. Like I want to be able to surf when I want to be able to live in the present. I want to have kind of a work-life harmony or balance, or what people say. And I think this is really good when you're running a business, because when your cup is filled, like, you can give back to your team members, who can give back to the customers, and in that way the business can grow. Because if your cup is empty, nothing will work at all. And next slide. And that's why I'm like usually say that okay, now I lost myself actually. No, but the biggest impact of everything is because everything I just went through, someone can tell you this is how you should do it, like this is what you have to think about, but no one can actually tell you your why. And for me, that has been the biggest change in everything I do, and that's actually helped me go through everything. And my why is actually to create a community where everyone feels welcome and feeling empowered to follow their dreams. Because when I was growing up, I always felt like an outsider. I was like the only Chinese girl in my school, like living in a small town in Sweden, like, you're different. I wish so many times I had blonde hair and blue eyes, like the most of Swedish people look like. But it wasn't until I was like 22 until I actually started to follow my passions in life. And it felt like society telling you to be a certain way, to be like follow a certain path, like do your university degree, like get a job, get a house, get a Volvo, you know, and a dog if you want. And I was always felt like I was different, and I always had these big crazy dreams. I wanted to follow my passion, travel the world, and do like, yeah, I wasn't typical a Swedish person, I would say. And that's why, for me, I wish back then there was a community or social media, for example, that could actually inspire and motivate me to be my true self. Because it's all about being yourself and having your own values and follow your dreams in life. Because life is too short to not actually creating your dream life. And that's what keeps me up in the morning, even when it's really hard and challenging. And I think the mindset comes with it as well, because when you have a strong why, you can go through everything and your mindset will change along the way. That's what I think. And that's why I think it's really important to know your why. Like, it's not about the money, it's about actually knowing what you want, and from there everything will follow. Like, you base your values on like the why, and that's been the biggest impact on the growth actually, because knowing myself. I really like this quote: your business is a reflection of who you are and your team are. And it goes back to having like your own why and your values. And I'm not like, I think everyone can do anything as long as you have the right values. And I think Amen is is a reflection that everything is possible, because what we've done is not because we're smart or have the best business mind. It's because we had the right mindset and knowing what we want in life and have a big mission. And we're not transaction driven, I would say. And I think everything will count once you know and have your values and what you want to share with the world. Yeah, that's it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll start off the Q&A because I actually have a question. for both of you. You're talking about business being you in your life, and when do you switch off, and what's your work-life balance. Being in a partnership, and we can relate to this, being in a partnership where you work together and you go home together, how do you guys change from this is Eamon and you're doing business to versus Johan and Helen, the couple wanting to spend some time outside?
So one thing I think we've done really good is been having date nights, and like once a week we're not allowed to, we have a date night, like a date, and you're not allowed to talk about business at all. So that's been like a good thing for us to do.
And also work in different locations.
Yes.
So sometimes you stay at home and I don't, and the opposite.
Yeah.
Awesome. Does anyone else have a question?
I'm curious as to how your business is obviously online, and your business partner is abroad.
Yeah.
In terms of communication, do you guys meet up? Do you find it impacts your business at all doing everything online, or do you feel it's more beneficial meeting in person, or how does the communication?
So we're actually talking every second day, to be honest. But we're because of the time difference, we're very efficient. We have like 1 hour every day in the morning and in the evening to actually communicate. So once we have that like spot, we're like really efficient and like really organized and really have to directly come up with like the outcome. Yeah, but I think we usually meet up twice a year, and once we meet, we're trying to dream and have visualize things and plan more in like the long term, like for a full year. Yeah.
Do you find it restrictive being visually just in front of a screen rather than when you're in front of a whole heap of people, you're animated, you're on a whiteboard, you're creating, all those things across. So you have a little screen where you go, hold on, I can share my screen with you. Do you think that impacts at all the passion and the excitement around designing a strategy?
Yeah, we never share screens, by the way, but no, that's because we have all these systems and processes in place. We know, if we have a new product release, we just we need to do this and that and tick it off. So we have everything actually, set up already. It's more like deciding which size to go for and small things like that.
How often do you meet in person? Do you travel at all back to?
So I usually go back 2-3 times a year, and now we just spend a week in Hong Kong together. Yeah.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
Hi.
Sorry.
No, that's fine. You just missed the whole presentation.
You're right on spot.
Yeah. Thank you for coming. Yeah.
Back to working online and collaborating online with team members, or in my case, I collaborate with clients online, and you are more efficient when you have an online meeting.
Mm-hmm.
You have an agenda, and I send notes and everything. We share screens, and it's great because I can be training or showing, or logging jobs, and the person can see it straight away. And it's visually easy, because if you're in a room together and you're sharing information on a desk, it's quite hard. On a whiteboard, yes, it's fine, but it's exactly the same. And you still get that, it's not exactly like face to face, but you're seeing and hearing and everything, except that there's a screen in between.
Maybe we should try this now.
And bringing it back to this conversation, it's all about mindset. Do you want to do it? Can you do it?
Yeah, everything is possible.
You just let go of the old ones.
Cool. Any other questions?
I've got a question. Helen, what was the original dream, and then how's that changed now that the business has grown so big?
The original dream of before we started, or?
Yeah. When you first, the 2 friends.
Yeah, so for me, it's I was living in Hong Kong at that time because my sister, she's she has a muscle disease, so she's sitting in a wheelchair, and she was moving to Hong Kong for a year, but 2 days before she was going, she fired her 2 personal assistants. So I couldn't see her dream crash, so I just quit my job, quit my studies, and I flew with her to Hong Kong to stay there with her. And at that time, I felt really useless because what did I do? I'm like 23 and 22, 20, I don't remember. And I just quit my job. I don't have a university degree. Like I don't have a career. Or like I felt really useless and lost in life. And then I read the 4-Hour Work Week with Tim Ferriss. Have you read that one? And that kind of just changed my mindset. And I was like, okay, that's it. I'm not gonna have someone define me who I am based on the degree on a piece of paper, and because I'm capable of more. So I just started like, okay, what can I do in order to be my own boss, create my own life, and how can I do something bigger than what I'm doing now? So from there, I started to talk with Tekla, was doing a Skype meeting, and we started talking about like, let's create this really cool and confident brand. And then from there, we actually started to source products and started an Instagram account. So it actually it was a dream to have a company and have a confident, like a empowering brand. And then from there, we just, sportswear is the way we should go. Yeah. Thank
So
you.
is the dream still the same? Being confident? Is that still, or a confident brand, is that still the dream?
Yeah, I think the vision, it was really funny. When we met in Hong Kong, we went through our Google Drive, and 2013, in the beginning when we started talk, we actually wrote down our aim is inspire women. That was actually what we wanted to do already in the beginning, and now it's more detailed now, but from the beginning we already knew we want to inspire and motivate women.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
One question. So you started off online with e-commerce, and you have pop-up stores now, so you're doing a bit of retail as well as online?
Are you talking to the one in New Zealand? Or
you've got both.
So we have two physical stores in Sweden.
Yeah.
They're really well, they're standing there all the time, and sometimes we do pop-up store around in New Zealand as well.
So how are you finding that in the current environment? Being only a pop-up store, for example, is it quite popular because it's only for a short time, or is it just a good way to get the brand out there?
Because we have kind of a community here in New Zealand, and once we have pop-up store, we always do a lot of marketing so people actually show up, and that's what drives me to have community and get people together. So we usually do a lot of events, run events every month. So we're doing one tonight in Auckland actually. Yeah, so we have some girls over there. And where we gather the tribe to actually just have fun and be active. Yeah, so that's what drives me to be able to get people out there and get people together.
Cool. All right, so thank you so much, Helen. I really appreciate you taking the time and doing this, and congratulations on doing this publicly in front of all of us.
Yeah.